video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet and books and sometimes TV and movies and other life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I really hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and let's have a lovely visit together. And today is another Monday, September 13th. And yeah, it was it felt like a long week. There were some ups and downs and frustrations, but persevered and made it through, and I'm really glad about that. And reading helped me get through. Reading's going well, crafting's going well, so let's appreciate the good things. And speaking of good things, I picked up a treat of a beverage today. I got this from Starbucks, but when I got home, I put it in like my mason jar mug because I just like it. And yeah, I didn't want to keep it in the plastic cup just because it's more fun to drink out of my mason jar mug. But this is a fall seasonal drink. It is that apple crisp Machiato iced, and I got it. I'm trying different milks. I'm experimenting with non-dairy milks, so this is oat milk in here. Just trying things out and see if I like them. And this drink is maybe a little sweeter than I'd like. It's got a good amount of caramel syrup. But I wouldn't mind if it was a little less sweet, but other than that, it is delicious. And I stopped at the Starbucks this afternoon on my way home from picking up a shopping order from Target. You can do like a drive-up pickup, which is what I like to do. I'm still trying to minimize going inside stores when possible. So I got one of the things in the order is this little trio of notebooks. And I have a plan. Let me tell. First I'm going to untie and show you the 3 colors, and then I will tell you my plan. But I just love how they come tied up in a bundle. And it's taking me a little longer to untie it than I thought. Let's see. Maybe I'll cut it. Okay, I've got scissors. I'm cutting it. I'm tired of messing around. So here we go. And let's slip the label away. And here are the three colors. I really like all of them. This is my favorite though. And this is the first one I'm going to use, and let me tell you my plan. As I said in last week's video, I am participating this month in the Magical Readathon hosted by G of the YouTube channel Book Roast. And so in September, we are on the Novice path. I will put the link to her announcement and orientation video to the read-along readathon because she created it. She explains it much better than I can, and also it's just a really good video. She put so much into creating a new fantastical world to explore and create this readathon that is a little bit of a cross between a role-play game and readathon. So I'd rather just send you to her to hear it directly and appreciate all that she's done, if you're interested in it. But as I've been reading my books for the prompts, I've been thinking about, it would be nice to have a dedicated notebook for the Orilium Academy and the Magical Readathon. That's what I was looking for when I found these notebooks at Target. So I'm going to mark my progress on the path and notes about my character and the prompts and the books that I'm reading for it and all of that stuff dedicated in here. I will probably still be able to use this in September when we start. Sorry, September is now. We're on the path to get to the magical school. April of 2022, school will be starting and we will have our characters built with further prompts. We have until April next year to build our character with 3 prompts. So I will not be reading for my character in September, but I'll probably still have just enough space for my April beginning of my Magical Academy training. And so once I finish one notebook, I'm intending to, and hopefully I will continue for following years in the academy. So as I progress through the Magical Academy, I can fill the other notebooks. And I just think they're so beautiful too. And I'm matching. I didn't do that on purpose. I really didn't. I really did not try to match with my notebooks today, but it just happened. I do love a floral. What are you going to do about it? There's no need to do anything about it. Nothing's wrong with a floral, so just enjoy. Anyway, so let's start with the books. I have been bouncing between all of the books that I started. So I haven't made crazy progress in them, but I have been progressing in all of them. And one of them was a quite short novella. So I did finish A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. I was listening to that as an audiobook that I had from my library, and I listened to it not a lot of listening sessions, because like I said, it was only 4 hours total. And most of the listening sessions that I did were before I went to sleep, which was the perfect timing for this really gentle and reflective and quite hopeful and optimistic story. It did read to me as kind of that fable or bedtime story kind of tone. And it was just very gentle. There were a lot of nature descriptions that were really pretty, because there are cities in this world. It is a future Earth. I'm pretty sure it's Earth, but maybe it's not. I don't think they said exactly that it was Earth, but it is future. And there are cities, but this novella, we really didn't spend time in the cities. We were out in the villages and then out in the wild, uninhabited wilderness for a little bit. So it was just, there was a lot of nature and pretty nature descriptions and just very restful and reflective and peaceful and hopeful and sweet, and just what you want before you go to sleep. A Psalm for the Wild Built is also the beginning of a new series for her. So she is planning to write more in that world with robots and humans starting to interact again. The premise is that generations ago, when AI had the awakening and the robots became sentient, the robots decided all as a group, all together, to separate from people and go off into the wilderness and do their own thing. So they left the factories because that's what they had been built for. They left the factories. They didn't want to work for people anymore and disappeared into the wilderness to do their own thing, build their own society. And in this book, a tea monk, sibling Dex, is on the road and encounters a robot for the first time. Splendid something mosscap. Splendid speckled mosscap. They all name themselves after like the first thing that they get that grabs their attention after they like become aware. And that was the first thing that Splendid Speckled Mosscap became very interested in, and that is the name. It's a mushroom. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling so much, but so it's first contact in generations between robots and humans. Mosscap volunteered to be an envoy to check in with the humans and ask the question, what do humans need? I am still progressing in The Snow Queen by Joan D. Vinge, or Vinge, I'm not sure. But this is a classic sci-fi. It was published in the 80s, and it is a science fiction reimagining of the classic fairy tale of The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. I am approaching 1/3 of the way through now, and oh my goodness, in the last few chapters, so much has happened. And she is really ambitious with the world building. I love the world building that she's doing here, and her characters, the characters are also complex and very interesting. This is my first time reading this author, and I am so impressed and really, really can't wait to read more of her books. And this, I did find out that this is a series, so there's also more to continue in this world. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss to say anymore. Because I don't want to give spoilers, and also it's just that good, and I'm a little bit like, don't know what to say. But that is The Snow Queen, and that is for one of my prompts in the Novice Path. The prompt is a book that's at the top of your TBR. And this is a book that I was talking about buddy reading with an online friend for a long time. We both bought it months ago, and we were like, we're gonna buddy read this really soon, months ago. It took a long time for us to really get to it. Yeah. But we're reading it now, and both of us are really enjoying it and having a lot to chat about with it. So that prompt was top of the TBR. And the other book that I know for sure I am using for a prompt in the Novice Path is Circe by Madeline Miller. And that prompt is a 5-star prediction. And Circe just has been recommended by so many people that I've watched on BookTube, and it's on the top of so many lists. It is just so many people read it and talk about it. It has gotten high praise from critics and readers, and so I also have been really getting interested in mythology, not only from any specific country, but mythology in general. But also one of the areas of mythology is Greek and Roman mythology that I'm interested in, just because for so much literature, Greek and Roman mythology is being referenced a lot in so much of Western literature, for sure. But it's, yeah, so I do want to improve my knowledge and my comfort level with Greek and Roman mythology. So I have been wanting to read Circe, but a little intimidated, but I also had super high expectations because of all of the glowing praises that I've heard from so many different sources. So my expectations were like at the top. So this Circe definitely was something I expected to be 5-star, and I am really, really liking it a lot. So much. And it is following the life story of Circe, who is a witch. She's also the daughter of Helios and Perse, excuse me, who is a nymph. So she is a daughter of a god, one of the Titans, and she finds this power. She becomes a witch. She also gets exiled, and that is a whole very interesting part of her story, to this island. And most people, and I knew all that I knew before about Circe was that Odysseus, on his voyage back home in the Odyssey, her island is one of their stops. They get stranded on her island for a while, and that was all that I knew, was that Odysseus goes to her island, and that's part of their journey. I am also continuing to read my NetGalley arc, which is A Coin for the Ferryman by Megan Edwards. This is a time travel story about bringing Caesar to the modern day. And it is really, I'm having a fun time with it. I'm really having a fun time with it. So far, I would describe it a little bit. It has a little bit of an academic setting. They've assembled a team of professors and grad students and a big secret lab. This is a top secret project. So all of the people that come on the team have to sign like an epic non-disclosure agreement, and like their lab has no signage. It's in a secret location. They're like built it inside a warehouse in an industrial area, kind of a thing. Anyway, but with all this like team of top scientists and grad students, it's got that kind of academia feel and like forbidden. I don't want to say dark academia, but like forbidden research academic kind of a thing. Also, it's got a lot of drama in the team. So it's got a lot of internal, like, soap opera team dynamics, which is kind of entertaining. This is less about the science and more about the characters. So it's not a super, like, it's definitely not super science fiction forward. It's definitely more about the characters and their backstories, and they each have reasons, and yeah, and then what the history means to them, and yeah, it's very entertaining. It's well written. I'm enjoying the writing. It's very, I think, straightforward and nice to read. It's not like super impressive prose, not like oh, it's so beautiful, but it's just it's good to read. It's straightforward. There are details, but it doesn't feel like overly descriptive. And the characters and their dynamics and their backstories are really interesting. And the academic tone, like the tone of academia and forbidden research, is really fun. Because I finished that one novella, I have started one book. And it's a book that I told you last week that I was planning to start. So I have begun Royal Apprentice by Robin Hobb, the second book in the Farseer trilogy. I am also buddy reading that with a YouTube buddy, Blue Black, who I chat with in the comments under my videos, and also sometimes see in the live stream or in the comments of BookTube Goddess's channel. Really glad to be back at back in that world and back with Fitz, and in the aftermath of what happened at the end of Assassin's Apprentice. So yeah, the end of Assassin's Apprentice was a lot. So right now, in the early part of Royal Assassin, still feeling the and dealing with the aftermath of all of that. I really don't know where the story's going to go from here. But I'm already feeling well immersed and happy to be back. Let's see. Anything else? Let me take a sip while I think. No, I think we've reached the end today, and I hope that if you are crafting or doing any creative projects, I hope they're going really well and that you are enjoying them. I hope that you are really interested in enjoying all of the books that you may be reading, and I would love to hear about what you're reading or your creative projects, or questions. If you want to ask me a question, I'd love to chat with you in the comments under the video. and take care. I hope that you're well and all of your family and all of your loved ones are well. And see you next time. Bye-bye.